The LEGO Marvel theme is over 13 years old now, and over those years we've got some really amazing sets. From playsets, art sets, dioramas to my favorites of the modulars, there's a great selection, so I thought it'd be fun to find out which was the highest rated sets of all time. Once again using the Brickset website, they'll be split into categories by their rating, and ones with more reviews will be a little bit higher on the list, until we get to first place which has a much higher rating than the rest. Let's begin counting down these sets, seeing if we agree or disagree. So the first few sets have a rating of 4.3. Let's begin. Coming in 12th place we have Thor's Hammer. This set gave us a massive brick-built Mjolnir. It's over 46 centimeters long, so it makes for an incredibly impressive display piece. I was going to say it's a little bit more subtle than other LEGO sets, but it's a ginormous hammer. But in terms of it's not distinctly LEGO at first glance. So if you aren't a big fan of the modular or the play sets, this would be the perfect alternative. It also has a small interior of Odin's Vault. You get the Eternal Flame, the Tesseract, as well as the Infinity Gauntlet, which is such an incredible mold. It's one of my favorites from the Marvel theme, and it sucks that it's been discontinued, especially with how many Big Fig Thanoses and Endgame sets we get. They really need to bring this and the Nano Gauntlet back. And then we do get a Thor minifigure, which I think is based on the original movie, so that's a great version to get. So overall, it's a really cool display piece, and although it probably wouldn't be this high up on the list for me, I do think it is a great set. Coming in at 11th place, we have the Avengers Quinjet from 2023. Based on the first movie and a remake of the original set. And this design and build is so good. It's such a big improvement over the original set, which was still a great set, but this one is so much more accurate. And it's one of, if not the best Quinjets we've ever gotten. The design is great, and it also has a much bigger interior, so we can fit more of the Avengers inside of it. Speaking of which, the minifigures are amazing. I remember at the time I was so excited to get remakes of the first Avengers designs for the characters, although now they've used these designs in the hundreds of sets that I'm kind of sick of them. But back in 2023, it was so great to see them again. I especially love the massive improvements for Cap and Black Widow. So as a massive fan of the original Avengers movie, and a big fan of the design in that film, even though we get a lot of Quinjets, I definitely think it deserves a place on the list. Next up, in 10th place, we have another iconic buildable LEGO object. We have the Infinity Gauntlet. It makes for a really cool display piece, and it's a great build. I love the use of the metallic gold LEGO bricks, and it also comes with all the Infinity Stones, and the fingers are actually decently posable, so you can recreate the snap. So another solid display set. We're now moving on to sets rated 4.4 out of 5. In 9th place, we have Avengers Tower, which I would definitely have higher on the list, as it's one of my all-time favorite LEGO sets. So this set contained over 5,000 pieces, and it's around 90 centimeters tall, and such an incredible build. And it's really hard to appreciate how big this thing is until you've seen it in person. I actually have it on the shelf next to me, and it's by far and away one of the coolest display pieces that I own. And if you're like me and you prefer the minifigures and modular style building of sets, it's one of the best Marvel sets ever made, especially if you love the MCU and the Avengers. And in terms of minifigures, we get 31 characters, which is an insane amount. You pretty much get all the main MCU characters, and it's a great selection. Although obviously there's a few characters I would have loved to have seen, it's still a great lineup. The only issue I have with this set is probably the interior. Pretty much only Loki's cell is that's actually on the helicarrier. I really wish this was an Iron Legion deployment room, and we got a few Iron Legion minifigures. But yeah, as far as modulars go, this is such an amazing set. Definitely one of, if not the best Marvel sets ever made. Speaking of the helicarrier, in 8th place we have the Shield helicarrier from 2015, which at the time was the biggest Marvel set ever made with almost 3,000 pieces. And unfortunately, I didn't get this set, as this was a pretty packed year for superheroes. We also got the amazing DC year as well, so I saved up for the smaller sets for this one. But it's such an impressive build. It's super accurate to how it looks in the movies, and it is micro scale. As you can see, we actually do get some micro scale minifigures, which are really, really cool. The set was over 80 centimeters long and also had a small interior. And we got 5 minifigures, including our first Maria Hill. I think this was our first Sam Jackson Nick Fury as well. So another incredible set, and I'd love to see a remake of this one day so I could finally get it. In 7th place, we have one of my favorite playsets. We have the Milano Spaceship Rescue from the original Guardians of the Galaxy film back in 2014. Considering this was the first time LEGO made the Milano, it was such a perfect build. The design looks so good, and the Milano's always been my favorite of the Guardian ships. I love the color scheme as well as the shape, and the minifigures in this set were so good. We got our first Drax and Gamora. We also got Star-Lord with the amazing helmet, and the best Ronin the Accuser. So this was an incredible set with some great minifigures, and definitely one of my favorite Guardian sets of all time. We now have another modular. We have the Sanctum Sanctorum, which I think is a really underappreciated set. The build looks so good, especially from the exterior. The building technique and design look amazing. So this one was based on a combination of Infinity War as well as Multiverse of Madness. So we got characters like Ebony Maw, Spider-Man as well as Iron Man. Then we also got Scarlet Witch and Baron Mordo. It also had a really great interior. We had the lobby at the bottom floor, as well as the magical artifacts room. So I actually think this is a pretty perfect set. I just wish we had a few more minifigures and they were slightly more detailed, but I would definitely put Avengers Tower over this one. But as it's older, it does have more reviews. It is still a fantastic set, however. Then from the Sanctum, we have the Sanctum again, but the original playset version from Infinity War from back in 2018. Another one of my favorite Marvel playsets. We had over 1,000 pieces, and was just such a great build. Not only did the Sanctum look great, we also got a pizzeria as well as Peter Parker's apartment. It had a solid interior as well as some amazing minifigures. We got our first MCU Iron Spider, as well as our first Mark 50 Iron Man, which is such a cool fig. Ebony Moore, as well as the only big fig cool Obsidian. So as far as playsets go, this is definitely one of Marvel's best, and one of the best Avengers sets they've ever made. The next set of sets are rated 4.5 out of 5. In fourth place, we have probably my favorite playset. We have the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge Battle. Quite a mouthful to say, but it's such an amazing set. This came out all the way back in 2016 and over 1,000 pieces. And we get a small section of the Manhattan or Brooklyn Bridge, I'm not sure which one it's supposed to be, which is such an iconic location in Spider-Man and Marvel in general. And the build here just looks great. The fact that this actually has the same number of pieces as the Sanctum is actually really impressive. The build's also packed full of a lot of great Easter eggs. We get a small little Craven hideout, a taxi as well as a police quad bike, and the minifigures in this set were just simply amazing. We got our first Craven as well as Scorpion, who had a brand new tail mold. Currently our only Scarlet Spider, and by far and away the best Green Goblin, which is one of the best Marvel minifigures of all time. So this is a pretty much perfect set in my opinion, and I'd love to see a remake of this one day. We are now entering the top 3. So the third highest rated Marvel set is the Guardian ship, also known as the Benatar, which I'm guessing they couldn't call it that because of licensing issues. So this was the ship that they used for Infinity War and Endgame. It's another phenomenally built set, and I love the design of it. It's also a really good size. The wingspan is about 60 centimeters long, so another incredible display piece. Although I must admit, of all the Guardian ships, this one is my least favorite. I think the overall color scheme is a little bit boring, just being orange and gray. But still, it's a great build. It has a solid interior, although definitely quite cramped. And we do get lots of great minifigures. We got a much more accurate group with the color scheme, a really amazing endgame rocket, and I love the new Star-Lord. The use of the Superman hair is great, and he has drum molded boots. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the mask. But the one thing that I really don't like about this set is the conclusion of the Chitauri Warrior. It really should have been Drax. But overall, a really great set. I think it definitely deserves to be on the list, but I wouldn't have it this high. Alright, in second place, we have the Ultimate Spider-Man set, and probably my favorite set, we have the Daily Bugle. So this set contained over 3,700 pieces, and just like Avengers Tower, it's such an incredible display piece. It's an impressive size of around 82 centimeters, and if you're a big Spider-Man fan, this is a must-get set. I think unfortunately it retires at the end of the year, so if you haven't picked it up already, I would 100% recommend it. The exterior build looks great, especially the big Bugle logo on top, and I love all the screens on the lower floors. There's so many amazing references. It also has my favorite interior of all the modulars. We get J. Jonah Jameson's office, Peter's office, as well as the workroom, and a great lobby build. And then the minifigures are exceptional. We get quite a few reuses like Spider-Man, Miles, and Gwen, and a bunch of his villains. But for the first time, we did get Black Cat, who's still exclusive to this set. Then we got some amazing heroes, including Daredevil, my personal favorite Marvel character. And we got our first and probably only Punisher, although he could be in the new Spider-Man movie sets next year. We also got Blade. So an incredible selection of minifigures. So in my opinion, this set is pretty much perfect. And this would definitely be my number one. However, it's not for me to decide. So what is the highest rated Marvel set ever? With a rating of 4.7, we have the new Milano spaceship from 2024. Another amazing Guardian ship build, and a set that I really want to get, but unfortunately I think it retires at the end of the year. The Milano is by far and away my favorite of the Guardian ships. It's just such an amazing design, and I love the color scheme. And as much as I love the original version, this one is a massive improvement. It's such a perfect recreation. It's also a great size of 64 centimeters wide. It has quite a lot of space for an interior, and then we get a solid minifigure selection. Star-Lord and Gamora are a little bit lackluster. Once again, I really think we should have got the Star-Lord helmet. It's such a perfect mold. We got a new baby Groot, which is super cute, and a new rocket. And finally, we got a shirtless Drax, I think for the first time since Guardians 2. So definitely the standout minifigure. I also think it would have been great if they included Ronin in this set as well. But in terms of the build, it's pretty much perfect. Just a few minor changes I would make with the minifigures. So a really phenomenal set. I personally wouldn't have it as my number one, but I'm not that mad because it is a great set. And that is it for the highest rated LEGO Marvel sets. A really solid list. I think most of these sets will make it into my top 10, just not in this order. I would personally have some of the modulars a little bit higher, and the Bugle would be my number one. But most importantly, let me know which ones are your favorite Marvel sets and what would be your list. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out. Hope you all have an amazing week. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.